The United States Supreme Court's ruling on same-sex marriage sets the stage for more legal challenges in states across the nation. It does not address other rights for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered people. And while some are celebrating the ruling, others are struggling with the long-term ramifications of the court's decision.
Stand up!
The Equality Center in Tulsa has been a driving force of support for two couples who have led the Oklahoma fight for same-sex marriage. For more than a decade, Sharon and Mary Bishop Baldwin and Sue Barton and Gay Phillips were plaintiffs in a legal challenge to wed and have their marriages recognized by all of the United States. It wasn't until the June 26 Supreme Court ruling, which involved 4 same-sex couples from other states, that the Oklahoma women could claim ultimate victory. Mike Redman is one of their attorneys.
Today's decision was brought to you by the 14th Amendment.
The Supreme Court's majority opinion found marriage is a fundamental right guaranteed under the Equal Protection Clause in the 14th Amendment.
They ask for equal dignity in the eyes of the law. The Constitution grants them that right. What does this decision mean? It means we can all get married in all 50 states.
Barton recalls her wedding vow to Phillips during their marriage ceremony in another state many years ago.
Okay, just take my hand in a leap of faith, and let's see where God takes us. All right now. And it was nowhere in our thought at that moment that this is where part of our journey would take us.
Mary Bishop Baldwin didn't know if she would ever realize her right to equal protection under the law.
Who grew up and lived most of our adult lives in a time when we had to hide the very essence of who we are and who we loved, just so that we wouldn't be disowned by our families, cast out by our churches, fired from our jobs, evicted from our homes.
That moral discussions are religious discussions.
Dr. Everett Piper is the president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University in Bartlesville, a Christian liberal arts college which adheres to a certain code of behavior for its students and faculty.
We believe that the healthiest choice is a choice to remain abstinent sexually until you enjoy the benefit of a heterosexual monogamous marriage, period. And we expect our students to comply with that by virtue of a behavioral code, a code of conduct that they sign voluntarily upon enrolling here.
Piper is concerned the ruling could threaten the university's tax-exempt status. The issue arose when Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito posed a question to United States Solicitor General Donald Verrilli.
There may even be, if you follow Verrilli to his logical conclusion in terms of a Supreme Court argument, an effort to penalize the dissenting view by virtue of tax penalties or whatnot imposed by the federal government upon the church and upon the private individual, and even the individual academic scholar who wants to raise his hand and say, I disagree. I disagree with that, and I have data and rational reasons to disagree.
The court did not address that issue.
Lynn Enzeroth is the dean of the University of Tulsa College of Law.
Universities who do not want to abide by federal law with respect to race discrimination can be affected in their tax-exempt status. Whether or not that will be true with respect to gay, lesbians, and bisexuals still has to be litigated. I think there is an argument to be made that that may have an effect on the tax-exempt status, but we don't know yet.
Enzeroth says that is just one of many issues that will be debated and litigated in the coming years following the Supreme Court decision.
Now, some states have state statutes providing protections to gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgendered people, but many states do not. So I think we're going to see questions arise as to whether or not there can be discrimination in employment or discrimination in housing based on one's sexual orientation or marital partner.
Mary Bishop Baldwin says the fight for equality in Oklahoma is far from over.
As you know, gay and transgender people in this and many other states still can be fired from our jobs and evicted from our rental homes simply because we're gay. Legislators in Oklahoma and several other states continue to try to enact laws that would let business people discriminate against potential customers simply because they're gay or transgender. They're claiming that our assertion of our right to be free from discrimination is an attack on Christianity.
But Dr. Everett Piper worries that some Christians and institutions like Wesleyan will now be on the receiving end of discrimination.
We'll see how tolerant those who have paraded under the banner of tolerance are now. Will they claim that my intolerance is intolerable and they can't tolerate my intolerance?
Enzeroth believes while some states may push back against the High Court's ruling, the law will not be overturned by a constitutional amendment.